Hi everybody, in this lesson I'm going to show you 4 different ways to make your presentations more interesting right from the start. Welcome back to English for Professionals. I'm Derek and I'm here with another short lesson for you busy people. Before we get started, just a quick reminder to subscribe to my channel, hit the red button and don't forget to click on the little bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new lesson. And now let's start the lesson. 4 different ways to make your presentations more interesting right from the start. The first technique you might want to try is to focus more on the why than the what. Most of the time your audience will already know what the topic of your presentation is. So don't start with the usual, "Today I'm going to talk about." Instead, focus more on the why. Tell your audience why this topic is relevant and important by telling them a personal anecdote. A personal anecdote is a short story about something interesting you experienced. It could be about a conversation you had in work, something that happened when you were on holiday, a problem you discovered, or an idea you came up with. Remember to keep it short, interesting, and make sure it's connected to the reason you're talking to your audience, the goal of your presentation. And when you've come to the main point of your anecdote, you can say something like this. So why am I telling you this story? Well, the goal or objective of my presentation is to, and then you can use words like this, persuade you to, convince you to, inform you about, encourage you to, help you, show you, and so on. A personal anecdote could start like this. 3 months ago, I had a meeting with my boss and about a year ago, I discovered a major problem in our marketing strategy and last summer, I was on my way to work one day when on my last holiday, I was lying on the beach reading a book by and then include the author's name, when I started to think about. I remember when I started my first job, I was very nervous and didn't know anybody. Another technique which can capture the interest of your audience right from the start is to use rhetorical questions. So what is a rhetorical question? It's a question we ask without expecting an answer. Sometimes the answer is totally obvious, and other times we just want to get the audience thinking about the question. The whole idea of using this technique is to make a point, and as with the personal anecdote, it must be connected to the objective of your presentation. If you choose the right question or questions, it can really capture the interest of your audience, and that's what you want, isn't it? Here are some examples of rhetorical questions. What's the biggest problem that family-run businesses face today? How often has your business tried to find a more efficient way of doing things? Why do we have to improve the quality of our products? Why is this important? Why did we have such a dramatic increase in sales in the last quarter? A quick tip here. When you've asked a rhetorical question, pause for a couple of seconds before continuing. That way your question has a greater impact. The next technique I want to talk about is to give an amazing, surprising, or shocking fact or statistic. If you want to try this technique, think carefully about the fact or statistic you want to share. It can't be something your audience already know. It must be connected to the aim of your presentation, and it should be amazing, surprising, or shocking enough to capture their interest. Here are some examples. In the last 12 months, employee turnover has increased by 22%. We've found that more than 30% of our customers are not satisfied with our product range. There are 14 million jobs directly related to the mobile phone industry. As with rhetorical questions, pause for a second or two after giving your fact or statistic to create a bigger impact. The final technique I want to share is to tell your audience to imagine something. By using the word imagine, you help the audience to use their imagination and start visualizing the scene. This technique can help your audience to experience certain feelings and emotions and should capture their interest. Here are two examples. Imagine you're in a shop and you ask a shop assistant for some advice. The shop assistant looks bored and miserable and doesn't even make eye contact. Imagine you arrive at work one day and there's a buzz in the air. The offices seem brighter, everyone is in a positive mood, and the boss gives you a friendly smile when she sees you. A final tip for you. Whichever of these techniques you try, always refer back to the anecdote, surprising fact, rhetorical question, or the imagined situation. Always refer back to it at important points during your presentation. That should keep your audience interested and you'll have a common thread running through the whole presentation. That brings us to the end of this lesson. I hope you found it useful and I hope you get the chance to try out some of those techniques in your next presentations. In fact, if you do, come back and let me know in the comments how it went. And also let me know in the comments if there are any other areas of business English I can help you with. If you liked the lesson, hit the like button and share with your friends and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already and join my email list. Every 2 weeks I send out my free vocabulary email with additional business English, words from the news and everyday English for you to learn. The link is in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching and see you soon.